Hey guys, it's Brandon here from Theme Park Predictions and More, and here is my 20K Q&A. Now before I get into your questions, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for every view, every comment, and every minute of time you spent watching one of my videos. Honestly, it really does mean the entire world to me, and I cannot wait till we get to 40,000 subs, 50,000, and so on. So again, my success would not be possible without you guys, and I love making an impact not only in the industry, but most importantly, in your life. All right, let's get into the questions. What's your opinion on drop towers? Honestly, I really love them, though they kind of freak me out still, but I absolutely I'm going to ride it if it's in a park, and I might even ride it more than once. I've done the Orlando Free Fall, Zumanjaro Towers at Great Adventure. I'm all for it. Absolutely love them. What parks in South America would you be most interested in visiting? Plus, what coaster do you think would be the best fit for one of those parks? Any park. I really like exploring. I've honestly not left America yet, so I really need to do that to experience other countries and other roller coasters. And as far as what type of coaster would work well over in South America, I think any at this point because they desperately need something. What do you think will be the next park to add a new coaster in Australia? I'm going to say Dreamworld. I know they just added Steel Taipan, but I just have a funny feeling that they're going to add something sooner than later, since I believe they removed 2 coasters back to back before Steel Taipan opened. What's the most underrated coaster out there of all your credits? That's got to be the Villain at Six Flags Ohio or Six Flags Worlds of Adventure. I really love that CCI double out and back wooden coaster, especially at night. What's your most favorite theme park trip that you've ever done of all time? Again, I've done so many since 2004. I really can't single-handedly point one out. They've all been really great. And the best part about a road trip is the people that you're with. What is your favorite food to get at a park and out of all the parks? And honestly, it's all based on that park in particular. So if it's a Six Flags park, chances are I'm not going to eat there. Cedar Fair, I typically know what type of restaurants I want to hit up when I'm there. But as far as the best park and the best food, Silver Dollar City, hands down, no questions asked. If you got the chance to work with any manufacturer, what manufacturer are you going to pick? Intamin all the way. They're my favorite, and yes, over RMC. If you could designate one park to get an Eiffel Tower like Kings Island and Kings Dominion, where would it be? I know it's close to Kings Dominion, but definitely Busch Gardens Williamsburg, since they do not offer an observation tower, and they have a France area of the park that is absolutely beautiful. What is your favorite fast food chain? Easily Skyline Chili, based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Cookout here in the Carolinas. Where does Wildcat rank for you? Well, definitely on my lower tier list of Hershey Park coasters. I am very thankful that RMC's coming in there and doing RMC things for this old rickety wooden coaster that's really rough. And lastly, thoughts on Great Bear. It's a very funky inverted roller coaster, but I really like it. And it offers the right amount of funk mixed in with the perfect amount of intensity that I just really enjoy it. What is your all-time favorite flat ride? Definitely the Flying Eagles at Kings Island before they relocated to Carowinds. Absolutely the best ride ever. I would ride that ride over any coaster today as long as the ride cycle was very long and you were able to snap the cables. What do you think is the next upcoming type of roller coaster the US will try to build? Honestly, this might surprise some of you, but I really do think we're going to see some type of Vekoma multi-launch come over to America. At least that's what I'm hoping for. A very intense, Vekoma multi-launch with inversions, airtime. Definitely a little bit more intense than Big Mountain at Dollywood, whatever the new one's called. And I say this because I really do feel as if Kata Land's Vekoma Tilt Coaster is going to do great things when it opens. What are your favorite flat rides, non-coaster rides that you've been on? Definitely is Imperla Discovery. Out of all the ones that I've been on, I have to say I love Kennywood's Black Widow. That ride is just awesome. Obviously, the Flying Eagles are always up there for me, and you can't go wrong with an S&S Scream and Swing or drop towers. What could Islands of Adventure add next? Well, I'm really hoping that it's not going to be a Harry Potter attraction, but I definitely think we need to keep our eyes on the old Sinbad Theater that is located right next to Poseidon and Harry Potter. And have you been to Elitch Gardens or any Colorado parks before? And sadly, I have not, but I really do want to get out to Glenwood, and I know that's around 3 hours away from Elitch, so I'm sure I'll do both here probably in the next few years, maybe. Why does everyone hate the boss at Six Flags St. Louis? I just don't get it. Neither do I. It's a really rough wooden coaster, but God, that layout is just phenomenal. Now, mind you, I've not been on Boss since 2010, but my last rides on it were phenomenal, really solid coaster. But I honestly think it has to do with the whole curiosity of what if, because when you're riding it now, you're instantly thinking about, what if RMC got this project? What would they be doing and how much better the ride could be? Do you think that Orion was built smaller than Millie so people would rather go to Cedar Point over Kings Island for their Giga? In my opinion, no. My whole theory on Orion was obviously is true, but it came from CGA, and I think it was just a matter of getting this coaster built as fast as possible without having really any creativity, because honestly, if you look at Orion's layout, there really isn't anything creative about it. Unfortunately, I just think they could have done so much more and so much better in that area of Kings Island where they built it. Have you been to Silver Dollar City? If so, how do you rank the coasters on your list? And honestly, Time Traveler and Outlaw Run are both phenomenal coasters and in my top 25. But the great thing about Silver Dollar City is there's no bad coaster there whatsoever. What was something you thought would be easier about growing a YouTube channel? Now that's a great question. Honestly, recording scripts, because I'm just not that great at it, because my mind's everywhere when I'm recording, whether I have a script or not a script. So I am working on it and I'm getting better. But again, practice makes perfect. What was something that you thought would be harder about growing a YouTube channel? I would say editing the videos. That would be, I thought was really going to be hard, but it's pretty quick and I really enjoy editing now. What are your top 10 favorite coaster YouTubers? Now, before I started my channel, I watched a lot of Airtime Thrills, El Toro Ryan, Coaster Studios, OK Coasters, and Theme Park Crazy. But then I kind of thought, especially when COVID hit, you know what? I could do that just like they're doing. So I'm going to start my own channel. And now I'm so busy with my own channel, writing the scripts, creating 10 to 14 videos each month, that honestly, I rarely get a chance to watch anyone else's content. Usually if I do, it's one of my friends' channels or it's a smaller channel, so I can at least help them out, give them advice on their video to help them grow their own channel. And what is a good retention rate for a 1 out of 10 video? And honestly, the retention rate should be on a YouTube video anywhere between 55 and 65%. 70% is really, really good. It doesn't really matter about the type of video or the niche the video is in. So when a video has a 60% retention rate, I call that a win in my book. Do you think that Dorney Park could get a Vekoma tilt coaster? That's a very interesting fit, and I actually really like that fit because it's a very marketable type of attraction that no other parks around have. What's the most recent coaster that you've ridden? And that would be Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City, and I believe I got around 8 rides on it the day I went and loved every single ride. What other rappers do you listen to besides NF? Well, NF is so good since his music really is easy to re-listen to and relatable. So my family, we listen to a lot of NF, especially because there's no curse words in the music. So my 3.5-year-old can sing along with us or just kind of jam out to the music. Huge NF fan. Got the hat. My wife and I have actually seen them live 5 times now. So if you've never seen them live, highly, highly recommend it. And definitely get the pit seats. But as far as other rappers and music artists, I really like Whit Lowry, 21 Pilots, Toby Mac, Tommy Prophet, Ryan Caraveo, and old school Kanye West, and of course Kid Cudi. What is your favorite roller coaster that is now defunct that you would love to ride one more time? Definitely the Villain, hands down. Again, I loved the Villain. What's your favorite roller coaster that's polarizing? And what's also your most hated that's polarizing? I'm just going to go with Sky Rush all the way because you either love it or you hate it. I, for one, do love Sky Rush. Yes, the restraints suck, but the ride itself does things, honestly, a ride should not be allowed to do, and it's just that good. If you could only go to one park outside the US, which one would it be? But you cannot pick Energylandia or Phantasialand. That would be Europa Park for sure. How do you run the haunted house at your place? Well, prior to this year, every single year, I did about 7 years of it, I would turn my backyard into a haunted house for the community and our neighborhood. I did this as a kid with my father as well, but now with the channel blowing up and my wife and I having a second kid here in the next few weeks, I'm not going to be doing it this year due to time constraints, and the channel is my number one priority. But when I did it, I would spend about the whole month of October building it, and it would be around 2,000 square feet. It was absolutely massive, and each year we would make it bigger, longer, scarier, etc. Will the Boss at Six Flags St. Louis be RMC'd by 2030? I would bet $100 on this yes, at least getting converted into a hybrid. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a Six Flags park when this happens. That's all I'm going to say. Orion or Leviathan? I've never been on a Leviathan before, so obviously I'd have to pick Orion. Though, judging by the layouts, I'm going to pick Leviathan just because I think that layout intrigues me more than Orion's does, but I could be wrong. What predictions were you right about, and which ones were you way off? Well, the way the predictions work, it's obviously a guess, so I'm never going to get everything right. So what I've learned from the past is when I make my predictions is I start my predictions off, and then as more news comes in, then I can change the prediction as I get the more news, just because that's basically how journalism works, and people breaking news, etc. So I've been way off before, and I've been pretty spot on with the coaster. With that said, I think I picked the wrong time to create a prediction channel right in the middle of the pandemic, because we didn't really get any announcements in 2021 or 2022, and 2023 is obviously a very lighter year as far as predictions go. So again, if you're watching this and keeping tabs of, yes, I got one right, I got one wrong, I got 10 wrong, etc., it's just for fun. I have a very creative mind. I try to be really realistic when it comes to this stuff, and I know I'm not going to get everything right, and I'm not going to get everything wrong. So it's just kind of, let's have fun and create a positive buzz in the coaster community. Do you prefer Millennium Force or Orion? This might make people upset a little bit, but Millennium Force all the way. Again, I love Intamin, and I just think Millennium Force does a lot more than Orion does. I love the views you get off Millennium's lift hill, the 3 overbank turns, and even the tunnels. What's your go-to song on Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket? Definitely Kanye West Stronger. It's been a long time since I've been on that roller coaster, so I need to change that and check out what else is on there. What is your favorite coaster YouTube channel? And again, I really don't have a ton of time to watch other channels, but I really do like what OK Coasters does. I know they don't post much, but I just love his mix of production as well as the way he narrates his videos. Just a really, really well solid job. What are your thoughts on Alabama Adventure? I definitely need to visit that park. I have yet to do so. Do you play any video games? Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but that's only when I have time, and I like building roller coasters with my son and then crashing them. What is your favorite movie? I like a lot of movies. Remember the Titans, Crash, as well as Kick-Ass. Have you watched Stranger Things? And if you have, what is your favorite character? Obviously Dustin. I just think he's really funny, and I just think he's a really good character, and it's just fun to watch him grow as a character, as an actor, as well as the show. How many credits do you have? Just over like 400. I think I'm at like 415. So I just passed 400 in June, and I'm very thrilled to finally be in the 400s. So 500, hopefully in the next few years. If you could change your home park, what would it be? That's a very good question. For just park wise, of course, like Cedar Point, but I also have to live near the park, and I definitely don't want to move to Sandusky. So I would say move back to Ohio, maybe live near Cincinnati for Kings Island, or I love Silver Dollar City, but there's no major city really around it, so I can't say that. Man, that's a really good question. You know what? I would move back to Florida in a heartbeat because I love Florida, and I would move to the Tampa area so I can ride Iron Gwazi anytime I wanted to. Sky Rush, love it or hate it? As mentioned before, I absolutely love Sky Rush. Why Great Adventure over Magic Mountain? I just have a better time at Great Adventure over Magic Mountain. I really like El Toro, Jersey Devil. Obviously, Wonder Woman's the same there. I just really did not have a good experience at Magic Mountain in 2020, so I'm hopeful to go back there probably next year or the year after to reevaluate the park and, enjoy the park more. When and where do you think the first RMC T-Rex will go? I honestly do think this concept is still on the table despite the rumors, and I think the first will go to some random park that we do not expect. Do you think the B&M Surf model will take off and become a very popular coaster model? Is this a trick question? Definitely no. I have no idea why B&M's even going back to this model to begin with, even though it's going to be the new and improved model. I just don't really see it being popular. It wasn't popular 20 years ago, really. Why would it be popular now? Which theme parks in the UK and Europe are at the top of your bucket list? I would have to say Alton Towers, Energylandia, and Phantasialand, with Europa right outside that, because those are my top 4 parks that I would really want to go visit. How many lifetime rides do you have on the Beast? Now, I worked on the Beast in 2004. I was a part of the Beast Flying Eagles crew, so we rode it a lot of times. I would probably say around 500. I'm not one for keeping track of how many rides I get on each roller coaster. I love people that do that. I just have never done that. So I would say about 500. How far do you think the B&M relationship with Six Flags will go? Well, before this new CEO, I really think they would have been able to build a couple more dives or mini dives for that price point, around $12 to $14 million. But now that we have the new CEO, there's no relationship. And part 2 of that question is, do you see a Hyper or a Giga being built? Or are they just going to stick with the dives or maybe a wing coaster? Obviously, I cannot predict the future, but under this CEO, B&M, Six Flags are not going to be working together as of right now. So I don't think any. Why do you think that the Chance Hyper GTX model hasn't caught on like everyone thought it would? And that's another really tough question. I think it's more about every park wants to add something that's like trending, that can go viral. That's why I think the SNS free spins, as much as I really don't love them being added to all the parks, it's a very smart move because it's something that's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. So, when you have a Chance Hyper GTX, a roller coaster around 100 feet tall that features a bunch of airtime and really cool transitions, it probably won't do as well at the front gate as a unique roller coaster or something like that. Where is Candemonium in your Hershey and B&M Hyper rankings? I really like Candemonium. It's probably like my 3rd or 4th B&M Hyper, favorite B&M Hyper. As far as Hershey Park rankings, it's definitely not above the 3 Intamins. And now that RMC is coming in for Wildcat, I think it'll be my 4th or 5th favorite coaster there. What is your favorite coaster from Kennywood? Phantom's Revenge, hands down. Though, I really do like Steel Curtain. I just really loved everything about this ride. I've been on it twice now. Well, I've been to the park twice to ride it. I've been on it probably about 20 times altogether. Just a solid coaster. But Phantom's Revenge, back row, down that ravine, doesn't get better than that. Is the best theme park that you've ever been to Knoebels? And I think they mean an amusement park, but yes, Knoebels is by far one of my favorite parks, especially during Phoenix Fall Fun Fest, which is like the 1st or 2nd weekend of October. It's a great coaster event, and it's just a great time to go ride Phoenix at night in the fog. It's flying. But seriously, if you've never visited Knoebels before, do yourself a favor and go. It really is unlike any other park you've ever been to. Is the best theme park you've ever been to Dollywood? I love Dollywood, love Silver Dollar City, but I have to say Islands of Adventure would be the best theme park that I've ever been to. What do you think will happen to the bats at Kings Island? I think this coaster is going to be around for a long time to come, and I love the bat, so I'm totally okay with this. What was your favorite coaster growing up? And that would probably be Millennium Force. I rode it opening year and pretty much every year past that, and it's just a solid coaster. Obviously, it's not my favorite anymore, but it's still a very special coaster to me. What got you interested in roller coasters? And I think I was just fascinated by them and, kind of how they worked and how big they were, and obviously intimidating. And then I really enjoyed riding them and drawing them during school. And looking back on my childhood, I really think coasters kept me out of a lot of trouble and kept me pretty positive up here, which is obviously very important, especially when you're in high school and middle school, etc. What app did you use for your Jurassic World theme park drawings? Oh yeah, that video that took 2 weeks to make. All those drawings, it was so in-depth, and that was really cool to make. Unfortunately, I probably will not be doing anything like that because that video really did not perform well for the amount of time that I put into it. But I use this app called Sketchbook on my iMac. Who do you think will get the next Hyper Hybrid? And that's a tough question again, but I would really like to see Six Flags Great America convert American Eagle into a single track roller coaster, add on around 60 feet to it, and making it a Hyper Hybrid. That would be awesome for that park, and I really secretly would love for that to happen. And as far as the other parks go, I would love to see a coaster like Zadra fit in right in the old vortex plot of land at Kings Island. I think that'd be a really cool visual and a great coaster for that park. And lastly, the Boss at Six Flags St. Louis. Fingers are crossed, it's not going to happen for a while, but hopefully one day the coaster gods will strike upon Six Flags St. Louis and grant them their wish. If you had to ride one coaster for the rest of your life, which one would it be? And while I would love to say Fury 325, the answer is going to go Velocicoaster, just because that roller coaster does everything I love about a coaster. The visuals, the theming, and the ride itself is just phenomenal. What is one song that you would listen to for a week straight? And that's got to be Driftin' by NF. I absolutely love the song, especially the ending and the meaning of the song. So if you've never listened to Driftin' before, go check it out. What is your least favorite amusement park? Honestly, I don't like to say anything negative about the parks or the coasters, really. I'm trying to be a very positive channel, so I really don't have a least favorite park. With that, I really don't care for the Disney parks. I know, scold me. I just have never really been a Disney person. I think they're really good parks. I'd rather go to a Six Flags, Cedar Fair, Knoebels over Magic Kingdom. I would like to ask for your opinion about your Worlds of Fun visit. I really liked Worlds of Fun. That was my second visit there, the first being right when Prowler opened. So it's been about 12 years, and I had a great 2 hours there. Mamba, Trimless, honestly, probably top 5 best coaster experiences I've ever had. I think a lot of it was due to the fact of I wasn't expecting Mamba to be that good, but honestly, it's magnum good when the trims are off. What is your favorite state for roller coasters? I got to go Ohio, but Florida is really creeping up. If you could pick any park to be your home park, what would it be? Oh, this question again. Kings Island's great. Busch Gardens, Tampa. There's a lot of other parks as I mentioned, but I would love to go back to Florida. And the final question, do you follow any sports? I'm a huge basketball fan, football fan, Cincinnati Bengals, Carolina Panthers. I've always been a Charlotte Hornets fan since they came in the league, as well as an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. And baseball, Tampa Bay Rays. I really don't care about the Reds, even though I grew up going to Reds games. And hockey, Carolina Hurricanes. And of course, college sports. I've always been a Tar Heel fan, so I don't care for Duke. So go Tar Heels. So yeah, I love sports, love playing them. I have a basketball hoop in my driveway where when I'm not recording or not doing dad duty, I'll go out and shoot some hoops. And I have a pretty good shot. So I like shooting and I like playing ball. So there you have it, my 20K Q&A. Thanks again to everyone who left their comments or questions for me. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching this. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.